All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to pull back the curtain on something we all know, the endless scroll. We're going to uncover the hidden mechanics that are literally designed to capture our most basic fundamental drives.
So let's just dive right in. You know that feeling, right? That kind of vague, restless search for, well, you don't even know what. It turns out that's not a bug, it's a feature. And today, we're going to unpack the powerful brain system that's being targeted every single time you pick up your phone.
Okay, so before we can really get into the hack itself, we've got to understand the hardware that's being hacked, our own brains. Deep inside, at our very core, there's this ancient, incredibly powerful system that drives us to get out there, to explore, and to engage with the world.
Now, this system has a name. It was identified by this amazing neuroscientist, Jaak Panksepp, and he called it the seeking system. It's basically the biological engine of our curiosity. It's that feeling of expectant eagerness, you know? That little buzz you get when you feel like you're about to discover something really cool. You can almost think of it as the main power source for our mental energy.
And here's what's so wild about it. The seeking system is super powerful, but it's not specific at all. It doesn't have a goal. It just wants to seek. It's this raw, directionless energy. And that's fantastic for survival, right? It keeps us exploring. But that very same quality makes it super easy for outside forces to grab onto it and steer it.
So how does this ancient, goalless system get taken advantage of? Well, this is where modern algorithms come in. It's where our basic biology meets a very sophisticated business model.
The whole trick, the entire hack, is built on one simple idea: creating a gap. A gap between what our brain thinks is going to happen and what actually happens. It's not about giving us what we want. No. It's about messing with our expectations in a very, very calculated way.
Right, and this gap, this mismatch, it actually has a scientific name: reward prediction error, or RPE for short. Whenever you run into something unexpected, could be better than you thought, could be worse, your brain just floods with a little burst of dopamine. It's the brain's way of going, whoa, hold on, what was that? It's a signal that basically forces you to pay attention and figure things out.
So how do these platforms actually engineer this? Well, they use the exact same trick a slot machine uses. It's called variable ratio reinforcement. You pull the lever, you refresh the feed, and you have no idea what you're going to get. This constant stream of unpredictable little rewards, these digital crumbs, it creates what you could call a synthetic lack. It keeps that seeking system fired up, always looking for the next hit, but never ever feeling truly satisfied.
This table here just lays it all out perfectly. You've got this whole feedback loop. Our primal seeking system gets turned on. Then these prediction errors are engineered to make us feel like we're missing something. And the value they get from keeping us stuck in that loop, they call it informational rent. It's basically the profit they make from our captured attention. It's a system that literally transforms our own sense of anticipation into a money-making machine that just goes round and round.
Now, you got to understand, this constant looping isn't just some quick trick. It's not just a momentary distraction. Over time, it physically rewires the motivational pathways in your brain. It's not just changing your mind. It's literally changing the machinery of your mind.
The key idea here is actually a pretty old concept in neuroscience. It's called bonding, which basically means facilitation. The best way to think about it is like water flowing down a mountain. At first, it's just a trickle, but over time, it carves a deep channel. It's the same with our neurons. The more a signal travels down a certain path, the easier it gets for future signals to follow it. Repetition literally carves superhighways in your brain.
So let's just break this loop down step by step. 1. The algorithm feeds you something unexpected. That's the prediction error. 2. Your brain fires off a little hit of dopamine. 3. That dopamine rush strengthens the very pathway that made you scroll in the first place. That's the bono. And 4, your brain's baseline shifts. You now need a slightly bigger or more surprising hit to get the same feeling. And this loop just repeats thousands, maybe millions of times, getting stronger and more automatic with every single scroll.
And this is the really critical part. This isn't just about forming a bad habit like biting your nails. This slow, steady rewiring actually changes the fundamental mood of your brain. It alters your affective tone. Think of that as your brain's default emotional weather, and it's being slowly recalibrated to center around this endless loop.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. What's the real price we pay for being caught in this super fast automated cycle? Because believe me, it's about way more than just wasted time.
This right here, this gets to the absolute heart of the problem.
Real human thought, it's slow, it's messy. It needs what some people call a scansion of hesitations. That's the time we need to pause, to reflect, to doubt ourselves, and to make a real choice. The algorithmic loop just steamrolls right over that. It replaces our slow, thoughtful time with its own time. Instant, super efficient, and built for knee-jerk reactions, not deep reflection. And what happens when that ability to pause and reflect gets bypassed over and over and over again? Well, it can lead to something that psychoanalysts call ego impoverishment. It's basically a hollowing out of the self, a kind of deep exhaustion where you stop feeling like you're the one in charge of your own life. Instead, you just feel caught in a cycle that's being driven by something else.
So at the end of the day, the ultimate price is a loss of real agency. Think about it. A truly human act, a big life decision, almost always involves breaking a pattern. It's a choice that redefines everything. But this loop, it's designed to stop that from ever happening. It takes all our exploratory energy and just channels it back into the system to keep us stable, to keep us predictable, and to keep us scrolling.
So what are the big takeaways here? First, our brains are hardwired with this primal, goalless seeking system. Second, algorithms have figured out how to hijack that system by basically weaponizing uncertainty. Third, this whole thing creates a loop that physically rewires our brains, trading our slow, human reflection for fast machine-like reactions. And maybe the most important thing to remember is this. If you feel stuck in this loop, it is not a personal failure. It is the very specific, intended outcome of an incredibly sophisticated system.
So we'll just leave you with this final question to think about. When your own natural drive, your own curiosity, is basically captured, repackaged, and then sold back to you as an endless seductive loop, well, you have to ask, who is really in control? Where do your choices even begin, and where does the algorithm end?